it's me, Sailor Mars here. And I know normally I would hold off making a film until tomorrow, but I have to do it now. Another play-by-play caller has died, Joe Palatino. Now, some folks might know Joe Palatino, and others might not know Joe Palatino. Well, for those who don't know Joe Palatino started out, he was in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling as a play-by-play caller. Then, when it became World Championship Wrestling, he was a play-by-play caller there too. He worked with Jim Ross, he worked with Tony Schiavone, he worked with Lance Russell and Gordon Soley. He would also, before he leave, he'd also work with Lee Marshall and Mike Today, and also with Gene Okerlund before he would leave and go to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, where he would also once again work with Lance Russell and also work with Jim Ross. Joe Palatino also worked with the Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling to make a show called This Week in Wrestling, letting all folks who could watch all the NWA shows that were going on, especially the Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling shows. Joe Palatino died this week. Now, I know that a lot of folks would think that WCW had a lot of play-by-play callers. Either Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, Gordon Soley, Lance Russell, Mike Today, Lee Marshall, Scott Huston, Gene Okerlund. Yeah, they did have a lot of them. And Gordon Soley. And Joe Palatino is another one of them. Now, everyone knows Joe Palatino during his time in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and World Championship Wrestling. Then he would his time in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Well, he would go on to do other things after his time in wrestling, though. But most old WCW followers might know Joe Palatino during his time in Mid-Atlantic and during his time in World Championship Wrestling, when he worked with Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone and Gordon Soley and Lance Russell. And later on, he would go on to work with Lee Marshall and Mike Today before he would eventually leave WCW. He'll be missed. Another play-by-play caller who has died besides Joe Palatino over the years was Lee Marshall, that I forgot to make a film on. Jack Raymonds, who briefly was in the WF at one point. Also Gorilla Monsoon, because he was a play-by-play caller by the time he died. And Alfred Hayes, who also was a play-by-play caller before he died too. And also not forgetting Lance Russell, Gene Okerlund, and Harold Finkel. And now Joe Talapino is now another one of those that we lost. Well, I want to wish everyone, all Joe Palatino's followers, friends, kin, my thoughts are with you. And I'm sure Joe Palatino is probably up in heaven with God and Jesus now, calling flights with either Gorilla Monsoon or Lance Russell or Alfred Hayes or Lee Marshall, or Jack Raymonds, which don't very few folks know anything about him. But anyway, it is what it is. So I want to say Joe Palatino is up in heaven with God and Jesus now. He's at rest now. He's at a good stead. And I just could not hold off to make a film talking about this until today. So anyway, that's it. Now, you might wonder where all the squiggly lines go. Well, apparently with Jelly Combo, if you have to make the shooter go up in the air to film stuff, then you get those squiggly lines, which I don't understand. So, yeah. Now I'm going to have it down like this now, so those lines will no longer be in any films anymore with the lights on. So that's it. I'm Sailor Mars. Hope you like this film.